Hello, this is supposed to be a video response and a let's play video response to the Reddit posts about caster lifestyle and the way that might work post game. And I didn't want to use my end game save and just try to simulate it because then um, viewers might still look at my levels and say that's why I'm succeeding and all this other stuff. So we're just looking at handful of things. Um, Trying to get some. Oh, okay. So let's say that you have been playing the game as a caster. There are some command abilities that you can grab from other trees or other job trees that really could help out over time. Things like Seal of Blood from Black Mage to this is how we're going to get our max MP throughout the mission. And then Magic Regen is how we're going to accelerate our um, casting. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. How much damage we can deal in a certain amount of time. Uh, I'm not actually going to use Lunatic yet because my gear and my build and my stuff hasn't come together yet. Um, and so let's say that I'm trying to go for Assassin to get the invisible command. I don't have that yet. So I'm going to go look for how to get Thief, and looks like, oh, to get Thief, I have this next thing. Okay, so Ninja, great for defensive stuff, for surviving as a caster. And then Assassin, we're trying to get this for the invisible command ability. So I need to get Monk. And this is where your Anima Shards come in. Instead of leveling the job that you're currently on and that you actively play, you might use these shards to level up stuff that you don't play and that you don't enjoy as much. Um, that's weird. What was Monk? Oh, Lancer. So, yeah, I'm using Anima Shards that I've gotten throughout the playthrough in order to get access to um, jobs that may have command abilities that could help us. Whoops. And let's see. So I'm looking for invisible. That's not invisible at all. Wow, it's been so long. I don't actually know where it is. Four, 4 points. Or yeah. Oh, was looking at the wrong thing. So now I have invisible, where this is going to help out with rooms of enemies where I am forced to. Let me rephrase this. It's going to help out where my allies are concerned. Unfortunately, my allies are pretty low level at the moment, but the goal here is that we're going to maybe help them get along the way and make them a little tankier if um, if I have such an option. I don't. Oh, here we go. So some stamina and spirit. Another thing that we did before the start of this video is we went to get the Smithy Hammer from the Mount Gulg side mission, as well as the Refren Wetlands. Um, there's a Smithy Hammer. We'll call it the Master Tonberry missions, is where you'll find the Smithy Hammers. But and the last Smithy Hammer I'm ignoring for now, just because I'm not going to be using that throughout the Chaos difficulty. But we'll see if we can do like a few missions. Preferably, I call it the speed run route, where I just try to zip through and end up getting high level gear and smithing that up. But in one of the previous videos, I did mention that we have the intended route of going through, and in this case, without, say, extra mode. So I'm going in, and I'm woefully underleveled, and so we'll say the beginning of this mission is going to be probably the roughest part. Um,
Let's head in.
We'll watch your back.
in addition, I am underleveled, where
Ashes to ashes.
typically post-game, a player might already be, what's the word called? Oh, I'm sorry. And what I'm doing here is I am charging up to try to get the,
By a sword's breath.
Focus on how we can do better next time.
what's the word? I am using Mage to charge up my spells. And, I guess maybe we want to keep them distracted more than anything. So, we'll go and use Eroga.
Warm welcome.
Let's make this entertaining.
Now watch and learn it like this. I barely even got going.
So
Up
our
ahead.
allies
for anything.
really helped us just now. Does that count as caster life?
Blown away.
And I want that soul burst. And preferably I want some gear. Except so far
There's one down there.
not
Let's
so lucky.
take it down.
Ashes to ashes.
Oops, wrong job. And as a caster, we try to play it a little safer. I'm trying not to follow my instinct to melee an enemy. Because that instinct is very much there.
Damn. Where does all that darkness come from?
I'm going to use Seal of Blood so that my first cast, whatever that might be, is going to hit hard. But maybe I'll take it out on this goblin that's coming up instead.
A monster just popped out of that one.
Guess if darkness wasn't bad enough.
And I'm going to keep the enemy distracted for my allies and lean on them for a bit. Whoops. Well, okay. Well, we'll talk about these gates. I am going to melee the gates. If there's absolutely no enemies left alive.
Nice one, Jack. Now let's see what secrets this place is hiding.
And gonna grab a little loot. And might as well get our HP back. So let me see if I can
Come on.
get. Uh-oh! Please don't crash.
Let's go.
Let's see how much fire that thing can eat.
Get back.
And
It's gonna
ideally, they drop some loot that allows us to break enemies a little quicker. But we still have a gear penalty. So this hallway is going to be our
Watch
friend.
yourself. No sweat.
The next fight might not be so easy.
Stay out of the flames, unless you want to get cooked.
Let's find another way around.
Try not to get hit.
Grabbing some loot along the way. Alternating jobs if your break gauge starts to, oh crap, Neon, no.
Got you.
Whoops.
That looks worth picking up.
Where does all that darkness come from? Wow.
We're a few
I
steps
guess
behind.
having 4 gigabytes of Brave windows open, or
Wonder what's
browser
in there.
windows, is taking a toll on this. Okay, so we're upgrading our gear, and we no longer have a penalty on one of our jobs, and no longer have a penalty on Mage. I'm sorry, on our caster. So this is where things will start to
Found some
pick up.
cubes.
Let's relax for a bit. Drown.
And we'll say the rest of this starts to get a little quicker. Oh, I already have full MP. So at this point I could, and we're going to use Eroga, because we have allies. And now this next part, as much as I would love to hit this guy off, we're just going to do a little Eroga. He
Boring.
explodes.
Keep it up, everyone.
And we're going to try to take
There's one.
advantage of
Let's knock 'em down.
the fallout here. And we're going to retreat to get a little safer.
You got it. Blown away.
Oops. Oh well. So allies are putting in some work, which is great. And that's even without their gear being leveled up. Now, I'm not... at this point, I'm going to wait until the later cubes and upgrade them. Just so that we're not like constantly going back to the menus. But while I was under-geared, I did want to get back. Or get up my gear level sooner. Just in case we die.
Ooh, secret passage.
Remember this for later.
Remember it for... yes, yes. I'll try to keep some of my puns at bay. So I'm going to seal of blood this guy.
Drink up. Let's knock 'em down.
Wasn't enough to finish him off.
They're open.
I probably should have just waited. So we're going to do an Aroga. Even though they're weak to fire, I want to melee him so bad.
Got you.
And now that we're low on MP, we try to get that back with Mage. So the big thing I forgot to mention here
Breathtaking.
Nice.
is
Can't
we can
wait to
hold
see
the
that
cast
in
button
action.
on Mage if we ever fall too low and get our MP back. So we're gonna, just because we've been in this room before, we're gonna prepare some MP. And we're gonna Aroga.
I hate bats.
And because of Seal of Blood, they all just kind of, well, one, the Aroga hit harder. But then two, if we were low on max MP, we would have gotten more at that point. Now, I do want to make this next part count. So we're going to try to do, let's do Invisible. I'm sorry, Magic Regen.
Drown. I got it. Kill the fiends and these growths get weaker.
Whoops, didn't see all the bats near me. Get that Aroga going. Tell Ash to kind of go wild. Even though they're not. Whoops. Man, I cannot visually see those bats as well as I'd like to. But we're going to break that
We're
bat.
getting nowhere. We gotta smash the swords.
Will do.
Oops. Yeah, I cannot visually see those bats as well as I'd like. It's like something about my mind or vision just doesn't even see the giant bars flying towards me. Oops. Yep, I still didn't see that bat. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna...
Learn a couple
Oops.
things.
This bat's gonna be the end of us. Get some of our MP back. Why is the bat flying away? They never give up.
Blown away.
So this is taking a little bit longer than I had hoped.
Will do.
And we'll say I keep losing track of the bats.
Time to fly. There's more.
Sooner this is over, the better.
Got you. Blown away. Looks like that's most of it.
Let's finish this and move on.
Come on, bat.
Will do.
So we will break. Well, yeah, this is taking a bit longer because I'm trying not to melee. Where normally I would just go in. We have enough magic regen to make this happen, so let's just kind of speed this up.
Ashes to ashes. Ashes to ashes.
Oops.
Right through you. You got it.
So, oh, you know what I should have done? I should have boosted my allies with, that's what I'm missing here. I didn't increase the gear level of my allies, and they've been fighting at a disadvantage as well. Wow, this thing still has something to go? Impressive.
Blown away.
Okay. So, next set of cubes, we're gonna enhance our allies to some degree. And gear is precious for now, even if
Finally a break.
it becomes something we
This'll take us
dismantle.
straight to the tower.
Look, cubes.
Let's have a look.
So allies, we're gonna just kind of go through and I think I'll actually take that piece. So normally I'd say just kind of use whatever drops, but I am going to see if I can get like more intellect out of all of this, or just like, is there anything I'm just looking at the right side at this point, where I'm just kind of flipping through looking for intellect or stamina. And when I say the right side, I mean like the far right. I'm not even looking at the gear effects themselves. I'm just looking at the right until I see a plus sign. And unfortunately, that shield is absolute no-go. But yeah, so we are going forward.
Jack, let's go.
I was hoping I could just sneak in.
Time to fly.
Okay. Oh, Discord. I don't know if those sounds are actually coming through or not.
Blown away.
Over already?
Victory was
Okay.
Guaranteed.
And then we go grab that chest. And just for giggle butts, we're gonna... Oh, shoot, one's still alive. We can't let it live. Or unlive, or whatever it is that it's doing.
Ashes to ashes.
Huh. It really is weak to wind.
Time to fly.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's one other thing that I didn't do was master points, because my sage is not level 30 yet. So I am ignoring that Tonberry, unfortunately, and maybe we'll look at another Tonberry in the future.
Darkness is so thick I can taste it.
Little
This is
cactar
it.
over there.
No doubt.
So normally I did say do not, generally don't use crystals on the job that you are actively playing, and I'm making an exception here because anyone that's casting, they would have been level 30 probably by the end of the game. And so where I'm going with this is we have our master points where I want that extra intellect because that's a lot of extra damage. Oh, whoops. That explains it. I was underleveled. I thought I got rid of some of this gear. Silly me. That would explain it. So poor Cactar over here is going to get soaked
Drink up ahead.
or blizzard. Wow, he dodged. At least I thought he was weak to ice. I don't actually know. But for some reason, weak to water. Let's, he's not coming back. He's not coming back from this one. So, boss fight. We're going to try to invisible, and then magic regen, and then start casting our spells, and we probably won't be using a seal of blood. But specifically Chaos Advent, if he uses, or she uses, I don't actually know, uses Firebringer, we're going to use water to douse that out. And if they use Ice Sword, we're going to use fire to melt that sword and stagger them. So, using Invisible before I go in. Still targets me because they're a jerk.
Rumble and roar. Strike.
I'll get them off your back.
Invisible. Whoops. Not enough?
Don't just stand there. Dodge!
Get back! This one's gonna hurt!
We're gonna douse that water.
Rumble and
What's that?
strike.
Get another magic regen
Leon
going.
needs help.
Okay. And at this point, we're gonna help our allies out with our Jenga.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case is right. We're gonna invisible before we start this next round. Ball?
Did you see that? A face.
There's a person under there?
Whoops.
No way.
So this is what darkness does to humans. Keep it alive. We need answers.
I probably should have used fire.
All right.
I've seen that attack before.
Yeah, from Jack.
Maybe. But we know who does it better.
Ice is putting a damper on our fun, Jack. Think you can help us out?
Ashes to ashes.
There's the spot.
And so that's how this boss could go. You fools! where a certain DLC boss, uh, due to the circumstances, tends to be a bit rougher, and you end up playing a one of several certain ways with Sage in order to make that fight work out in your favor. Um, but we'll keep going. I heard a bunch of Discord blips. Oh my gosh. Um, Ultimately, you would take a lap around until you get, say, access to Sage, like, so that you can level up your Sage even further. Um, and I would say also, let's say that you jumped ahead. So right now, I'm sorry, let me back up a bit. So level-wise, I am in a good spot, gear level-wise, to go to the BK mission and do that. And we'll say that organically I would kind of go up the ranks until I finish that full lap. Um, so it's like, oh, okay, I have 135, 140, 145, 150, and I would just gradually go up, getting some type of unlock. And in the process, I might get like, oh, I get the Mage unlock, and that really would help out a lot for the stats, as well as the Sage coming up um, eventually on this tortilla. But let's say if you did rush to gear level like 300, um, that I would strongly and immediately recommend smithing up your gear so that you have access to a mix of intellect for your magic damage, spirit so that you can soul shield and get that MP back on a soul shield, as well as just take less magic damage, and then even stamina. Like there's a glass cannon route, but before the build and affinities come together, I'm just gonna play it safe. So stamina is lets me take a hit, or I think I said in the other video before, a tentacle to the face in case, just I'm fighting Great Malboro and I get hit, and I'm not completely down and out. So we have the Wicked Arbor, where it's like, okay, this mission level is clearly a lot higher, so we're going to be penalized if we were to try that out. But that, well, yeah. So ideally, I would just kind of organically go through these missions and keep my gear up to date. And if I feel like I'm having a harder time with a given mission, I might come out and go to the smith and change my smith effects so that that I hit a bit harder. Um, so like, oh, let me just grab some intellect, and in this case, I'm not grabbing too much more. Let me filter my gear. So Jack, get some intellect there. And let's say it's like, oh, okay, I'm just grabbing some stuff to maybe help out with the mission. I don't know which one is which job is which at this point. Um, well, what was I using? You know what, that works. So the goal here is that we're going to try to get some gear from the next place, even though we're woefully underleveled. But because one of the Reddit posts we read referenced the Great Malboro, we're going to try to take out the Great Malboro. But we might actually back out after we get gear, just to customize and smith it up. Because at this point, it's like, oh,
I think I know this place.
Careful, or you'll upset Jack.
There's a reason we can't remember our past.
Like what?
So we can focus on our mission. What else?
All right, I can get behind that theory. Careful!
so trying to get just some semblance of
Breathtaking.
gear.
Nice. Can't wait to see that in action.
And we'll end up taking it out of the mission, smithing it up, and then coming back in.
We're a few steps behind.
We're just getting warmed up.
Nice hit! You got
I'll
it.
get them off your back.
Drink up.
Have a look at this.
Now,
Nice.
ideally, I would have done the Seal of Blood and taken them all out in one go. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Let's keep going.
Warm welcome.
Whoa, you jerk!
make this
You
entertaining.
almost got me. I'm gonna pick up that Eroga.
Try not to get hit. You got it.
Because while I'm under-leveled, or under-geared, I'm gonna have a hard time,
Time
You got it, Jack.
I'm generally gonna have a hard time with getting max MP, which we'll run into issues later.
That hit the spot.
Those sweet Erogas. What did I even target? Did I just target a bat in the air with water from the ground? I probably did. Wow, they're kind of brutal. Or the party members.
By a sword's breath.
If we can breathe, we can fight again.
Again and again. I just heard a cactar, but I think it's too late for us. Let's take advantage of this situation.
Time to fly.
Will do.
Yep, you can't hit me from here, you jerks.
I think we're safe.
Let's get
Why are
ourselves
they
together.
poisoned? It's because there's a plant over there.
Be ready for anything.
Blow away.
Okay, so one less goblin later to deal with. And I take that back. We're actually just going to use the higher level gear just so that we can start breaking enemies.
We should be fine here.
Ready to try again?
Yeah. So we'll use what's here. Ideally, I would
This water's
smith
so
that
clear.
up.
Let's try some.
Also, ideally, my
Didn't
mage
think
would be
we'd
a bit
find
higher.
drinkable water here.
I don't know why I
I'll
did
get them
the...
on
Learn
back.
a couple things.
I don't remember what this is weak against. Let's try lightning.
Strike.
Come on.
Jack,
Nope,
let's go.
it wasn't lightning.
Rumble and roll. Right through you.
Whoops. Very dangerous.
Strike.
Oh! Too focused on trying to hurt him.
Rumble and roll.
Whoops! I just lightninged myself. That's not good. So this next round, we're going to play it a little bit safer because see those jerks up above? No, not that jerk. The one above.
Check it out, Jack.
That jerk. They're dangerous, and they need to be taken out ASAP because that rapid fire, that absolutely will take you out.
Let's get ourselves together.
Ooh, and he made the mistake of coming down with us.
I'll get them off your back.
I'd go in there to soul burst him, but it's just too dangerous. But you know what we can do?
Hit it again, Jack!
Seal of blood him from far away. I'm gonna get that max MP. Those audio effects.
Can't take much more.
Ash is in trouble!
Ash is in
Not
trouble
off to a good
because
start.
those guys are
We've
rough.
had worse than this.
I thought I could soul burst.
You'll see something like this in.
Hurry up and try it on!
Okay, so whoops. Too dangerous. Don't know what my allies are doing. Gonna use some lightning. You take your acid back. Let's see here. Wind elemental there.
Ashes to ashes.
We're going to ignore her.
That thing's huge. Must be good soil.
I lied.
Hey, look at that. Bet you can't break that wall.
Let's try water. Nope. Oh my gosh. You've been here the whole time.
Drink up.
I know you're thirsty, Cactar. That's why you're weak to water.
Jack! Now's your chance!
In terms of power, though, definitely want to get the,
I see some cubes over there.
what's
need
the
a
word
break.
called? Your sage
I can barely see a
unlocks.
thing in this fog. We had better proceed with caution.
Can we kill it in one?
Jack, don't let up.
I should have seal of blooded it.
No sweat.
You look almost disappointed, Jack.
Oh! I missed that one.
Time to fly. You got it. Got you.
So, leaning heavily on the NPC allies to kind of tank.
Blown away. Time to fly. Drown.
And we'll see if we can seal of blood this next one. I don't think it's gonna die in one hit.
Hey, fire, do ya?
Sure looks it, but it's too early to celebrate just yet.
I do want that Fira. Oh, whoops.
Drink up.
But we'll make do without. Too close to the poison.
Burn. Fall. You look sick.
Darn it. Didn't mean for them to get poisoned.
Ashes to ashes.
Sorry, guys. Now, just for MP purposes, I am going to load
Gotta
up.
love shortcuts.
We can set up base here.
And give this a go.
So tell me, which one will you choose?
Which what?
Reward for restoring the crystals. Will it be treasure or the princess?
I don't remember being offered a reward.
Of course you were. You just forgot.
Poor Sarah. Being offered up like a prize. If I were her, I'd be pissed.
Me too.
Okay.
But ridding the world of royalty's old-fashioned ways is no easy feat.
Well, maybe the Warriors of Light can do something about that.
Out with the old, huh?
Okay.
I can't choose.
I can't choose. Oh
On
shoot.
one hand, you'd get the crown, but it ain't like.
At least you'd be rich.
All right, that's enough childish daydreams out of you two.
Yeah, grow up.
Sophia, you started it. You started it, Sophia. How dare you? How dare you? Look around.
So, that's the volcano, huh?
Sure looks like it. I wonder if we'll run into another fiend.
Eh. Oh, forgot about her.
There's one.
Let's knock him down.
Oops, a little too close.
Is that it?
Let's brace ourselves.
And even
for
though there's
what's
a
ahead.
chest over there, we're going to painfully ignore it.
Sure is humid in here. Must be all this ivy.
Let's do a seal of blood and see if we can take him out to dinner. There's two of you? Oh, oh my gosh. Well, for the purpose of this video, we're not gonna try to do that again. We're losing our places that we can safely cast.
I'll get them off your back.
Alright. I hear some horrible groaning noises. They're like, ugh. Sorry, okay. Let's keep going. Let's get safe over here.
Ashes to ashes.
I'll get them off your back.
Do we have enough? We do. Let's take this. Oh, I was gonna say let's take this Aroga, but that did not happen. So you can kind of see sometimes I'm getting. Oh shoot! Okay, yeah. I sometimes I have a hard time seeing things. It's been getting worse, but things blend into other things when everything is the same color to me. Let's see. They're not going to finish this one off, are they? Just one more hit? Okay, my delay is causing them to take damage. Oops.
Blown away. We should be fine here.
We should be.
Will do.
I should help them out. Actually, you know what? I have to now. That thing up above, too dangerous. So, crap.
Now
Wait.
watch and learn a couple things.
Oh crap! I activated the Tonberry. Let's do this. Let's start off with something that's gonna hit hard. With a Seal of Blood.
Ashes to ashes. Burn.
What is it? I guess I don't know what animals sound like, because to me that almost sounds like a horse neighing, but it was not. So we're gonna just look at our gear. And just try to get everyone up to speed for this next boss fight. And let me see there. You know what? This'll do. This'll do. Ideally I'd have like a lot more intellect across my gear. Like just we'll call it smithed on. But that's not the case. Oop. So yeah, trying to get a bit more intellect across the gear. We're going to save. And we're going to go in, we're going to do an invisible. And then once we have the opportunity, we're going to try to do a magic regen once our allies have
This
the
one
aggro.
must be the tyrant of the forest. It's disgusting.
So the rectangle,
I want it out of
okay,
my sight.
now I'm clear to shoot. I messed that one up.
Only one left to go. Now that that's out of the way.
As if it wasn't revolting enough.
Okay.
Watching it regrow makes my stomach
Now
churn.
at this point,
What's it
I
do to the ground?
am going to abuse melee just to get some MP back before this next phase. Invisible should have hit them a little bit more.
Will do.
Wait until the target reticle is not
Still alive?
red.
When will this be over?
Okay,
Stop whining,
and now we go.
Else you'll get licked.
I would rather die.
To be honest, I think it's kind of cute.
We'll have to agree to disagree on that count.
Awake already? You won't be for much longer.
Let's magic regen.
There's a curse on your head. We'll be sitting ducks like this.
And this is how that caster life could go. Where if you have a lot of max MP by the time you get to the boss, you can be a bit more aggressive. Especially if you know what the boss's elemental weakness is, if they have one. Otherwise, if they don't have one, probably a Thundaga is pretty good just to kind of, we'll call it, hit them quicker. And also it tends to hit harder, the Thundaga and the Quake. And so, you might try to get gear kind of like the way I just did. Not gear, but just, we'll call it the progression. You work your way up, and then if you don't have the DLC, once you get your gear to like item level 300, I'd recommend just like smithing that up, like change the effects, smith that gear up, and that extra like intellect, that just makes a difference. So just to kind of drive that point home for a moment, I am going to pick on the first goblin. So we're going to end the video because I don't know how long this is going, and probably already over a half hour, if not an hour.
Could be something good in here.
So I'm taking out my allies for a moment. And let's say I cast... let me sabotage myself for a moment. Let's remove some of my intellect. Let's remove some of my smarts. So at this point, I should have like 63 intellect. And I go and I cast, let's do a single target spell, just a single hit. So roughly 3844, 3700, so around that range for 63 intellect. Now let's go and just put 5 points in. So I have plus 10 intellect now. So what, 3800 before? So 4300. Let's just do it one more time. So 4300 for an extra 10 intellect. And just knowing that you could potentially get that intellect across all of your pieces of gear. Well, I have a robe on at the moment. But you could get, what was it? So 3,800. Let's keep that in mind. The base amount was 3,800 before investing in intellect, even on your master points. And then let's do, just to keep track of which gear I actually have on easier. Oops. Just so I know I'm smithing up the correct things. We're going to just change the effects. And let's just go for intellect for now. It didn't have to be stamina. I shouldn't have done that. Stamina still helps us out. Let's keep that one. I'm not going to critical hit as often as I'd like, so. Yeah, I didn't actually need to sort by that, but so I don't have enough resources to upgrade that. The green ones, okay, or that one as well. Wow, I don't have the resources to upgrade these. I let that slide pretty bad. So let's go back in, and I forget how much intellect I actually started out with, but it's in the video if I go scroll back far enough. And so I have 90 intellect now instead of, what, 63? So instead of 3,800, we now have 5,000. And so by comparison, a lot of the gear effects, you might only find like, oh, 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%. And with that 10%, like 10% of the 3,800 would have been like, what, another 400? But here we're getting an extra 1,200 for those gear slots. And so it helps. Like, and where I'm getting at with this is that as you increase your job caps for Sage or your caster, you'll be able to get even more. You'll be able to invest even more intellect, as well as be able to have spare master points to start grabbing some of the damage bonuses as well, or things that might help out with reducing the cost of your spells. And then if you start to soul shield a lot, then spirit and stamina will help out. Stamina so that you take less break gauge lost when you soul shield, and spirit so that you get more MP when you soul shield. And then if you're just kind of like surplus of points, then soul shield MP recovery. so that you get a lot more um, with all that going on. But yeah, so just kind of longer video, let's play on caster life, and yeah, I hope that helps. And just kind of a heads up, some bosses, if you end up fighting them solo, uh, for whatever reason, if you do fight them solo, instead of invisible, you would take teleport, or be prepared to just like run away. Flee can help with getting out of the way as well, but you won't have as much time to charge up and do your thing. But we'll say as you progress, there'll be other ways to start your battles with max MP, but that is a DLC thing. But yeah, hope that helps. Wait, did I save? Let's just save.